Hi everyone! This is RG once again at Astig Vegan. Kamusta po kayong lahat? How are you all doing? I'm very excited to share with you our third episode. And this episode, it's going to be all about physical health and nutrition and fitness. And our guest is a good friend of mine. Her name is Cassie Umali. She's a vegan athlete, nutrition consultant, and fitness coach and influencer. And I'm very excited to share with you what I have learned. She has shared so many informational tips on the importance of staying active and being mindful of what we eat and the importance of getting our body moving, especially during the quarantine, and how we're going to do that even though the gym is shut down or we're inside our house confined. Although she now resides at the beautiful beach side of La Union, which is not a bad place to be stuck at. Regardless, she has shared many useful and inspiring information for the rest of us. Are you ready for it? Here it is. Cassie, thank you for agreeing to this interview. How are you?
Doing great. Just enjoying life here in quarantine at the beach.
Yeah, so just disclaimer. So where are you and are you keeping safe? Because,
Yeah.
some people may think like, oh my gosh, she's at a public place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it is a public place, but then no one's around. That's the benefit of it all. And I'm actually here in San Juan La Union, so surf town of the north. And I situated here. I live here now.
And unfortunately for other people, they may not be as lucky with the place they're at during
Mhm.
quarantine. Some people may feel isolated, and that's why I thought of interviewing you, because I think there's a benefit to staying active, right? And not
Yeah.
feel lethargic. So, but for some people, they're probably not, even before the pandemic, you're probably not as motivated to work out. And so now that they're even more lethargic, maybe they're always on their phone or
Yeah.
on the couch. How can they motivate themselves to get moving and stay active? What would you advise them?
Yeah, so I've been seeing a ton of workout videos from my fellow fitness influencers and here locally and all around the world. That's the only thing that I've been seeing on my Instagram and my Facebook are people posting their at-home workouts. Just like these fitness influencers and ambassadors and trainers are showing, is that even though they themselves they can't be in the gym because it's shut down for the quarantine reasons, of course, they're doing workouts that most likely don't involve equipment and don't involve any gear. It's just things that you can find around the house, as simple as towels and just being your cardio and your push-ups, and then you could do different moves with just the towel on the floor, and you could do mountain climbers. So it's easy like that. The 5-gallon water bottle, when that is full, you could just fill it up, and that's already how many kilos that you could hold and do goblet squats with, in a sense. So I actually I did that before when I was in Davao, and I didn't have any equipment. So I was really just using that 5-gallon water bottle as my
Nice.
weights. Yeah. And then just simple, typical workouts that you used to do in grade school during PE, jumping jacks, those are basic things. There's so much online. There's no reason for us to make excuses of, oh, I don't have a program. Like YouTube is free. Google is free. There's a bunch of fitness influencers right now that are showing their live stream workouts, and that's also free. If you really want to invest and have a program, then all you have to do if you're at home is to hire a personal trainer that can do online classes with you and online personal training. And the best thing about that, even though you're stuck at home, you're going to have a video on you, and they're going to look at your form, and they're going to watch your form, and they can correct you off the video. Just as long as you have movement and that blood flow, it'll help you become healthier, especially for what we're going through in this pandemic, because your number one line of defense in all of this, it isn't the mask. It isn't like wearing gloves. It isn't like being quarantined. It really is your immune system. When you settle and you fill in those gas tanks of your micronutrient gas tanks first, everything else will follow. But when you have a good balance of knowing your micronutrient intake, that's fulfilled, and you balance it out with your macronutrients, then you get that bonus of having a nice body as well, you know? Of course, it goes into play the fitness, because those micronutrients actually need to start moving through your body for your body and your cells to be able to deliver those micronutrients. Your micronutrients are grade school level. We've been learning about it in science and in health classes, you know, HLE kind of thing, where basic, like vitamin A, your vitamin E, B, C, vitamin D, which honestly I get a lot from the sun here in the beach. And if you're not able to get it because, let's say, you live in like the Western worlds where there's not that much sunlight, or you're cooped up in quarantine at home, yes, you can supplement with vitamin D. Another very important mineral is calcium, of course, to supplement the vitamin D so it can actually deliver it to your body. Iron, and of course, like zinc. Those are very essential. But of course, you know, like they say in the vitamin, from A to zinc, it's important to have a spectrum of it all.
Right.
And I tell people when they ask me, like, what supplements do you drink? When I wasn't vegan yet, I was always asked all the time. They're like, hey, Cassie, like, how do you get your guns? And how much do you bench press? Do you drink whey protein? And I'm like, even before, when I wasn't vegan yet, I didn't drink whey protein. Just because, like, I like getting my food from, you know, natural, whole food, plant-based sources, or from what I eat itself, from my nutrition. And more so, even though I went vegan, I knew from research that the only vitamin that I actually needed to supplement with was vitamin B12. So honestly, that is the only vitamin that I take. That's the only supplement that I take. I make sure it's the vegan one. And everything else, I just eat a spectrum of vitamins and minerals from the food that I eat, the fruits and the vegetables. So simple as we could put it is just eat the rainbow.
It all starts with what you put inside your body. And then after that, then you get to perform, right?
Honestly, abs are made in the kitchen. Like, abs are made in the kitchen. People always think it's like, oh, Cassie, what's your workout? I want to get abs. How many crunches do you do? I go, lemon water and really healthy food. They're like, no, like, how many crunches? I go, no, it's food. Abs are made in the kitchen. 80% of it is in the kitchen. 20% is in the gym just to sculpt it. But everyone has abs. It's just hidden. That's why you need the food to actually melt the fat away.
With moving around and keeping your blood flowing, I think that can also boost your mood and even combat maybe depression. Can you tell us more about how
Yes,
can you get that endorphins
definitely.
out?
I love sharing that. Basically, first and foremost, what you need to know is food affects your mood. If you eat junk, you're going to feel like trash, because it's one and the same thing. It's the synonym of it all. If you eat junk food, you're going to feel like garbage. But when you eat healthy food that's alive, honestly, right now, since my 2-year vegan anniversary, which was last February, like February 8th, I decided to go raw vegan. And it's been amazing because I don't eat junk. I don't feel like trash. And I don't feel like, oh, I'm lazy today. I don't feel like running. I don't feel like exercising. I feel sluggish. So really, that's what I'd love to share with people, is that food affects your mood. Always remember that. So before you take that bite, before you order whatever junk food, and you have a choice between going for the salad and the burger, which it's okay to have that burger once in a while. I do believe in the 80-20 rule throughout the week. 80-20. 80% like healthy, you could have your 20% like your indulged food, just to get through that craving.
As far as what do you advise to newbies when it comes to, working out, especially if they don't know where to start?
Basically, it's really just finding what you're interested in. I'm sure everybody has like, oh, I wish I could have done that activity like running, or I wish I could play frisbee, and maybe I could join Zumba because it looks really fun. Start there. If your what you like or your interests are actually your gauge of your spirit telling you that, hey, you might want to try this, like you could actually like it, and not just that, you could love it. And who knows, for those of you who are actually looking for their sole purpose in life and the whole reason why we're here on this earth, you're not going to find out what it is until you have a taste and start trying different things in life. Not just for food, for activities, lots to do with activities, meeting new people. You could have soul friends and soul tribes, or even like meeting whoever your soulmate is. You're not going to know unless you get out there and you have the courage and, willingness to put yourself out there and get past that initial shyness.
And I think you're such a great example of how you
Thank
just
you.
want to, courageously go for what's out there and what aligns with you. And someone like you who has that life, how do you harness that? Was it naturally like you were, or are you naturally like that? Or what's your advice to other people who are not naturally like that, who may be very timid, not just with, socially, but with trying out new things and finding out which one sticks for them?
Yeah, so people are shocked when I share with them that I'm actually an introvert. I'm a born introvert. I just knew that I had dreams in life. And that was my main, not just motivation, it was my inspiration. For me, there's a difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is when you have like a coach and they're telling you to do 10 push-ups. But you're like, oh, really? I have to do 10? And then you're trying to like plead with them. Can it be 8? And then they motivate you to do 10. But when they're gone, you don't do it anymore. Inspiration is having that fire within you and that burning spark that no matter if there's someone there telling you to do 10 push-ups, you yourself, you're pushing yourself to do it. So basically, most people, and it's just a continuous cycle, that first and foremost, you get inspired first by someone that is aspirational to you. It could be physically, mentally, in business, you like them, a teacher, a mentor, a guru, spiritual, or even just in education or politics or anything. And eventually, when they become inspired, they spark that fire within them to get up off their ass, off the couch. It happened to me as well. I was inspired by a few other people, and that created the momentum that I was inspired by them, and I got fitter and healthier, and then I became inspiration to other people. So it just becomes like this pay it forward movement. I like to say what be inspired, be inspiration is. And that's the tagline for my Caspiration, is that first, you're going to become inspired. And when you actually do that transformation within yourself, within mentally and physically, and people start seeing the change in you, and most likely it's going to be your friends and family first and foremost, like they haven't seen you in maybe like 3 months to a year, and when they see you again, or even when you post your workouts or your food plan and what you're eating on social media and they see it, it inspires them.
Now, how about if
Yes.
there's a lot of influencers online, Um, and you and I, we do a lot of work online. We post them in hopes that people will get inspired. But what if it can be sort of a catch 22, because then they're always online and then they don't get to really go out there, disconnect, and get moving and take care of their bodies, take care of their, of their way of thinking. So how do you strive for that balance?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about scheduling it as well. Like, um, I like to think how when we were kids and we only had the TV, that your parents really said only until like 7 or 8 p.m., no more TV, and you go to bed. You literally have to do that to yourself as well. The inspiration, once again, I go back to it, it'll come from you to be disciplined. So you also need to inspire yourself to be disciplined, to put yourself on a bedtime, just like your parents did when they said that by 7 o'clock, no more TV. I do hope my content inspires people to actually get out in nature and do whatever it is that they've been dreaming to accomplish and dreaming to have come true in their life. But it's as far as I can actually take them. I can't walk the road for them. They can live vicariously through my channel, my content, my Instagram, my TikTok, whatever else, live stream, Facebook
Mhm.
that I do. But until they actually walk and have the courage to journey on their own path, they're just going to live life consuming other people's content through the screen.
Do you have any final words or anything that I may have left out from our conversation? Something that you may want to add?
The change starts within yourself, because with every single person doing and taking within themselves to have that inspiration to change themselves first within, then that's everyone that's going to be able to change.
Thank you so much for this interview and for sharing with us what you have learned. I think, just like what you said, it's all about sharing the inspiration in hopes that other people will feel inspired, and hopefully that can be contagious and they pass it on to other people, and that we all become inspired to start the change within. So thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Always willing to share and inspire other people because I know it comes back.